Hello everyone, this is Tino Balestra. I'm Vice President for Research and Education in Dan Europe, and I've been asked by some of you and my students as well to give some hints, indications, directions on how to stay fit during confinement. Let's go. Hello everyone again. Confinement is a very difficult situation for every one of us on a psychological point of view, but also physical point of view. A lot of students of mine have asked me how to stay fit for this confinement. And of course, it's not easy to perform 1 or 2 hours per week of high intensity training, but there are other alternatives that can help us. How to stay fit and what is deconditioning? Nowadays, about deconditioning, we understand that after 15 days of stopping any high intensity or whatever intensity physical activity, you will lose 1% per extra day of what you already gained. For instance, if you gained 5% of your physical activity, of your physical fitness because of your training, you will lose it in 5 days over 15 days. 20 days, you've lost everything. That's why any professional sportsman never stops training for more than 5 to 7 days. We understand that this is not easy for every one of us, but some years ago, a Japanese scientist found out that even with short time, but high intensity, intermittent exercises, you could increase your physical fitness and even your VO2 max can be increased. So what we thought was always a need for a prolonged exercise for aerobic capacity was also achievable by short but high intensity intermittent exercises. This guy is known Izumi Tabata, and he understood that we knew that since a long time, but he understood how to perform that in a different way. We knew that high intensity physical activity is a good point to increase quality of life. We call that the high pack QL actually, but that's something we understood since a long time. But what he did, he asked people to perform high intensity exercises for 20 seconds, followed by 10 seconds of rest, and repeat it 8 times. So it means that actually you have 4 minutes of high intensity exercise, but you need to do that 5 times per week and continue that for 5 to 6 weeks. Actually, we understood also some times ago, not so long ago, that actually not only the cardiovascular capacity, but even your enzymatic muscular activity was increased on both sides. The aerobic muscular activity, but also the anaerobic muscular activity. So it showed that this was really something that was useful for everything in our capacity of moving and high intensity quality of life. And by the way, before doing that, we understand that it's not easy to perform this kind of exercise without a helpful tool. You can find a lot of helpful tools called the Tabata tools, whatever. You can find some apps for free that you can download from the internet are very useful because, as you can see, it's just turning now during the 20 seconds of active exercise. Look how short can be 10 seconds of rest, especially when you did a very high intensity exercise before. So that's it, you have to start again. So use this kind of tool, it's going to be easy for you and will be helpful as well. Of course, before entering this kind of program, you need to warm up carefully. Try to choose the right exercise for you without hurting yourself, depending on the level of stamina that you have and your physical capacities. Choose the right exercise and make sure that the rhythm that you will start to use will be the good one to keep high intensity all over the 4 minutes period that you need to perform. Another trick or hint, if you do this exercise with somebody else or others that are not at the same level as you could be, you can reverse the program. Instead of letting them doing 20 seconds of exercise, let them do 10 seconds of exercise, and they will be followed by 20 seconds of rest. At least you will finish the program the same moment, but of course, one of the two need to be more sweat than the other one. Nevertheless, at least you can do it together. Now, I will show you some exercises, but those exercises are not mandatorily to be used with this kind of program. You can use it in another way, but those at least are some suggestions. Let's go for the second one. That's the first very high intensity exercise that you can find in some homes. It's called the assault bike. And as you can see here, in this part here, the watts that you reach are quite high. You never go below 300 watts. And this is actually what has been measured with this kind of program. But of course, I cannot force you to do that. This is not for everyone. It's a very high intensity, but not everyone has this kind of bike at home. But it works pretty fine. Now, a very popular instrument that you can find at home, it's the home or the homemade mini trampoline that you can use very easily. Now, you can use this trampoline for this kind of exercise, but you need to increase intensity. As you can see on the right side of the screen, the increased intensity exercise is quite easy. You just bend your knees, you keep your shoulders the same level, and you push as fast as you can on the trampoline. Make sure that you keep your heels in contact with the trampoline. Don't use the top or the toes because otherwise you will have a very easy sprained ankle, which is not what we want. Don't hurt yourself. Keep your balance during this kind of exercise. Another easy exercise, very known one, it's the plank. But we were doing the dynamic plank. So put your elbows one after the other on the floor and get back. And if you want to increase intensity, just do the same thing with a higher block where you put your hands on, keeping your arms straight. As you can see on the figure, on the movie, we kept the hips a bit higher than the usual plank. This has been done on purpose because we will be more safe on the back side, because we don't know how everyone can perform this kind of exercise. So make sure your hips are a bit higher than the usual plank. Another exercise, easy. If you want to increase intensity with every plank exercise, just extend your feet and put the dorsal part of your feet in contact with the floor. This will increase the intensity of your exercise, but make sure that you use a mat, because otherwise it's going to be uncomfortable for your toes. Another exercise that we call the crawling seal. It's an easy one. You just rotate your hips touching the floor on one side and the other side, and then you push back, keeping the arms straight and exhaling when you're pushing back. This is a very easy exercise with a lot of muscles involved and keeping a very nice back position. So don't have too many problems doing this, even if you suffer a bit of back problems. But push hard backwards, exhaling and keeping your arms straight. Another easy to perform exercise, also for those with back problems, it's quite easy. This one is a straight back, pushing back. You have to put your hands not far away from your knees when you're just kneeling down, and you keep your hands straight and extend your legs backwards and pushing your shoulders backwards. When you are pushing backwards, you can exhale, but of course don't expire. Exhale, because you have to keep that without expiring. Don't kill yourself. Easy to perform as well. This is the burpee, very known exercise. Try to push your legs as straight as you can backwards and lift your arms when you are jumping. Do it at the highest rhythm as you can to keep those 20 seconds for 8 times. Easy exercise, no particular technique. It's called the sit, stand, lie. So you need to just sit, then tip up, eye, and stand, and then go lying down on your back. And you just keep on performing that one after each other on that rhythm and sequence: sit, stand, lie, sit, stand, lie. Of course, there are a lot of different techniques to standing after being lying or sitting, but nevertheless, just keep on doing that sequence. It's gonna be okay. Now, of course, there are other exercises that you probably know of. For instance, the jumping jacks, or jumping squats, or rounding back from four-legged position. There are a lot of different methods that you can choose yourself, but at least try to keep this 4 minutes a day for 5 times a week and during at least 5 weeks. So, hope it's going to be useful for every one of you. Good luck. Stay fit during confinement. I would say stay co-fit. And I would like to thank, of course, the cameraman, my son, and the supporting dog, Harvey. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.